Hello dear students, welcome back to my YouTube channel of Farm Learning. Today I am going to discuss the one video on the industrial hazard and the safety precautions. As we know that in the industry nowadays lots of incidents or the accidents are taking place. So as a part of the legal requirement and for the welfare of the people, we try to maintain the safety over here. So we try to first understand into this video what are the hazards, how the hazards are going to be generated, and how we can prevent these hazards to becoming the accident and which may be the dangerous to the life of any person. So let's try to understand first the term that is called as a hazard. So the hazard basically it is an any agent that cause harm or the damage to the human property or the environment. Uh, let's try to understand this particular word by the electricity. Uh, Electricity is considered is a beneficial for the mankind, but it is also considered as a hazard if it is not used properly. The same thing we are using the chemicals in the industry. If the chemicals are not used properly in the way it is to be used, then it is going to be the hazard also. As for example, the third one, when we are working into the industry, there are the lots of machines are there, and because of the machines, the noise is going to be generated, and that noise is also considered the one type of the hazards. Another is if you are working up a ladder and suddenly you slip or the fall down, so that is again one type of the hazards will be there. So hazards means any of the agent or the any condition that can cause the harm or the damage to either human beings or non-living things like the materials that's a property or the environment. Uh, we can classify the hazards within the industry into these five different categories. That is the first mechanical, second chemical, third electrical, fourth fire, and the fifth one is the dust hazard. Now let's try to understand the details of each of the hazards. The first one that is a mechanical hazard, as the aim replace that is due to the machines or due to the moving part of the machinery more precisely. So the mechanical hazards examples will be there like the friction will be there, impact will be there, shearing will be there, high pressure injection or the drawing in any of the part like what we are finding in the elevator or the belt conveyor, then entanglement, cutting, crushing, or the stabbing will be there. So these are the various type of the processes or mechanisms you find into the various machineries, and due to this if any of this mechanism in any of the machineries that is going to be come into the contact with either the human parts or human body or any of the material or the environment, then it will add the hazards to that particular things, and the hazards whatever the generated from this particular type of the things that are known as the mechanical hazards. Second type of the hazard that is called as a chemical hazard, because in the industry we are using the chemical is starting from the simple the water is also considered as a chemical, and water to the much more toxic chemicals too. So these are considered as occupational hazards because these chemical hazards you mainly find in the chemical industry or the chemical engineering field. It is basically caused by the exposure to the chemicals into the workplace, and that may have either the acute, that is the sharp short term, or the long term detrimental health effect will be there. The examples of such a hazards or the such a chemicals like acids, if we are dealing with the acids and the acids are going to be fall onto your our skin, then what will happen? The eruption of the skin layer will take place and the burning sensation will be there. Another we are finding like alkalis, that is caustic substance will be there. The list of these chemicals that's going to be the hazardous, as for example cleaning product, glues, heavy metal, paints, pesticides, petroleum products, solvent, photocopier, toner, etc. So due to whatever the hazards which are produced due to these chemicals used in the industry, what we'll have to do, we will have to refer its material safety data set and try to use that chemical into the prescribed manner or into the described manner in the proper way. The third type of hazard is known as electric hazard, that is due to the electricity. As I told you, electricity is going to be the beneficial to the mankind. Electricity is basically the flow of electrons, and basically there are the four main types of electrolytic injuries will be the first one is called electrocution, into which due to the electricity the death or the severe injury is taking place of any of the human being. The second type that is called a shock, that is electrical shock, when a person is coming into the contact with the live wire or the equipment which is not grounded, or the what we can say the earthing is not provided properly, so which will allow the current to flow to the body. The third that is called electrical burns. It is one of the most serious one, painful and the disfiguring of all the burns. Is basically happens when the electricity comes into contact on the hands or the feet where the current exit and the exit of the body. Then the fourth one that is called as secondary injuries, which typically results from the effect of the shock, such as a person is having the shock, but the person is going to be thrown once the electricity supply is thrown to the ground or of a ladder, and causing the indirect injuries will be there. So the electricity is also useful in the industry, but it is also causing a number of hazards will be there. The fourth one that is called the fire hazards. The fire hazards are very much common in the industry, and we try to understand what is the requirement of the fire. Generally, the fire word that is used in the industry with respect to the flammable. So let's try to understand this triangle, into which it is shown that if it is a fuel there and the heat is there, so if the oxygen is going to be provided, then the chemical reaction is going to be taking place, and the combustion type of the reaction is taking place, and which will lead to the generation of the heat will be there in the form of fire. Examples are like a waste and the combustible material which are being stored at particular site, flammable liquids and the vapors, uh, the dust buildup, then the object which are going to generate the heat, and because of the heat the high temperature, and it may cause also the fire, faulty electrical equipment, overloading power sockets, smoking, and the human error as well as negligence. So the best way to prevent the fire are cut off the supply of oxygen and don't allow this triangle to complete. And another thing is store the flammable chemicals or the vapors in the properly or the well closed containers. The fifth, which are the common one, that's called the dust hazard. They are also considered occupational hazard. So this dust or the smaller particles, they are going to be inhaled by the persons, and it is entering the respiratory system, and which may lead to the respiratory problem like asthma, pneumonia, or the lung cancer. Sometimes this dust particle come into contact with the skin layers, and it will lead to the skin problem as well as skin cancer too. It may enter into the eyes, that's the visual side of a person, and it can cause a visual problem too. The examples that will differ from the industry to industry, let's for example, mineral dust are going to be generated when the processing of the minerals is carried out, or let's say because it contains silica which is going to be dangerous, it will enter into the respiratory, enter into the lungs, and it can block the alveoli. The metallic dust is going to be generated like a lead, cadmium, and their compounds are also harmful. Chemical dust in the chemical industry like a bulk chemicals and the pesticides, which may be inhaled or which may come into contact with the skin or which may come into the contact with the eyesight. The vegetable dust like a wood, flour, cotton, tea, and the pollens are going to be generated in the food industry or the vegetable processing industry, and the molds and the spores will be there. So what are the prevention will be there into this case? To prevent this harmful effect of the dust is we should provide the adequate ventilation, use of the dust extractor of the vacuum that will take out the dust, try to wear the protective clothing as well as cover the eyesight with the eyeglasses, and the health education should be provided to each of the worker, and regular health checks should be carried out. Now into this slide I try to highlight what are the methods to prevent and the combat the hazards. So it is like a triangle, so we start from the base of the triangle, and as we are going on the top it is going to increase the effectiveness. So the first on the bottom is like a PPE, that's called the personal protective equipment. It is required for the worker to wear something. We can also, in this case, we can allow you to wear the respirator too. Then another is that is on the top of that we require the administrator and the work practice control. So it is a responsibility of the each and everyone, but the each and every individual, but it is to be monitored very well by a certain authority to have the control of that. So it requires either the worker or the employer to do something on this one. On the top of that we try to have the engineering control. So that means that we are using the machineries or the certain systems in the industry so that there is a least chances of generation of this particular hazards will take place, and this requires a physical change to the workplace. And finally the last one, that's called elimination of the substitution, which is going to eliminate the exposure before it is going to happen. So from the top to the bottom, that is from the PPE to the elimination of the substitution, that is going to be the one of the methods to prevent and the combat the hazard. The one of the most important concept is like that always the prevention is better than the cure. So if we try to develop an industry into which we try to minimize with the minimizes of the hazard or with the zero hazard, then in this case it is going to be the one of the safest industry. So again, what are the steps we'll have to take in place to eliminate or reduce hazards at the workplace or the industry side? That first, the important step is to identify the hazard, which is responsible for the workplace risk assessment, and then determine how many employees might be at the risk. Evaluate the risk, record and review the hazard at least annually or as earlier if something is going to be changed in the industry. So this is one type of validation or the evolution of the hazards will be there. Apart from that one, we are going to maintain the accidental records, because as I told you initially that any hazard is going to lead the injury or the accident or the incident during the workplace or in the workplace or at the time of working. So it should be the policy and the responsibility at the all level of organization, and it is also a legal requirement, and this injury or the accident should be reported into the suitable accident or the incidents reporting form. So in the future the necessary corrections or the precautions can be taken to avoid such a type of the injury or the accident. Now into this particular slide, there is one example of the occupational accidental reporting form is given, into which everything has been defined. Okay, so everything has been defined means the details of that injured person, the employee information is given, the type of the work and the work environment, and circumstances under which the accident is going to be taking place, with all the details. And after that, what are the consequences of the accident, and everything has been defined very well. So try to fill out that particular form, and that is going to be handy, because if anything is in the black and white, that is going to be remain for a longer time, and that can be discussed during the coming, that is like a joint safety meeting and the health and safety committee meeting also, and necessary precautions can be taken. The one another topic which is associated with the industrial hazard, that is called as a wastewater system. Because as we know that the water is essential for our life, and same that the water and electricity are also essential for the industry. Generally, the wastewater is a water that has been used, and it must be treated before it's going to be released outside into the sewage, because otherwise what will happen? It will lead to the further pollution of the water sources. The wastewater that will be come from the number of sources, like let's say we flush down our toilet and it's down the drain. It may be the rainwater or the runoff along with the various pollutants. It go down to the street gutters, and then eventually it is going to end into the wastewater treatment plant or the facilities. Wastewater also comes from, so this was the sources from what we can say that from our house, home or the office sources, but the wastewater also come from the agricultural and industrial sources will be there. As for example, industrial waters can be difficult to treat, and each water that comes from the different industry, they may have the different chemicals, pollutants, and the comparison to that one, what we can say the domestic or the water wastewater, it is coming from our homes or the offices, that are comparatively easy to treat. Now into this slide, I try to show one of the wastewater system will be there, and you can show that the number of steps will be taking place. So let me discuss very briefly for this one. If the wastewater is coming from collection system, it may be from the domestic or from the industry, we first carried out the screening to remove the big particles or the big materials, something like that one. And after that one, whatever the big screening materials are there, then it is allowed to pass through the fine screen. So again the smaller particles or the smaller chemicals, or what we can say the smaller materials, are going to be taken out, and then they are allowing to pass through that particular called as a degrading, means into the aerated grid tank it is allowed to pass. So what are the waste which is going to be generated either of the coarse fine or the degrading will be there, that is going to be go for the landfilling. Once it is done, so here it is to be assumed that most of the fine up to the coarse up to the biggest material, that is in the suspended state, they are going to be removed, and then such a type the water is allowed to pass to the that is the various types of the clarifier, and it's given the primary treatment and the secondary treatment. Into primary treatment they are passed through the filters, and the secondary treatment again it is passed through the air, and it is sometimes related with, let's say, depending upon the chemicals which is present into that wastewater. If it is containing the phosphorus, then we treat with the ferric chloride, and because of that the phosphorus chloride will be removed and the ferric chloride is going to dissolve in the water, and the ferric is good for our thing. And then secondary clarifier will be there, they will try to remove this particular thing if any traces of or the precipitates of these chemicals are left. And after that one, it is this water which is now suitable for, and it is going for the disinfection. So any of the microorganisms, disinfectant is generally do using the adding the chlorine into the water and to make it suitable. And finally it is going for the final effluent, means it is going to be come out, or it is going to be added into the desired water source. It may be either the lake or the canal or the river, whatever it may be. So into this way we are going to treat the wastewater, so we can now again treat the water, and which is suitable for the human consumption as well as the industry use. So in this video I try to highlight what are the hazards associated into the industry, what are the risk factors, what kind of the injury they can cause, and how we can prevent. And in addition to that I also highlight how the wastewater is going to be treated into the industry also by one of the wastewater treatment systems. So if you like my video, please give it a like, to please share to other people, and please subscribe to my channel for the more upcoming videos on the pharmacy related topic. Thank you.